Hello, welcome to the stream. How are we doing? I just want to say real quick, a little bit fuming. I am. Okay, not because of David Coote. Oh, I'm not super happy with David Coote. Yeah, not very happy because I didn't do all the prep. I had the thumbnail ready and it was scheduled on StreamYard. Okay, this stream. What do I find out an hour and a half ago? It's on private. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely. I have no words. But anyway, that's not today's topic. Today's topic is, well, I did a stream the other day, and it was how to solve Man City's problems. Okay, pretty straightforward. No, not how to solve it. That's this stream. Man City's biggest issues, pointing them out. All right. But this stream is going to focus around saving most, helping City try and fix them. But let's have a read through comments first. David Coote career is over after what he said about Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. He said Liverpool are bad, crazy. But why would he say on camera though? David Coote, he was drunk. Yeah, he did look it. One of our biggest problems is the midfield second ball winnings. Not even all of our midfield makes up half of what Rodri factually did. Our players coming back does help, but doesn't fully fix it. We need to stop playing like Rodri. We need to stop playing like Rodri will be here when he's not here. Let's be honest, I agree. I think we all agree. I'm Mikey Lewis. Welcome to the chat, mate. I saw your name changed every stream, but you're more than welcome to the chat. But anyway, so here is the graphic. Okay, I'm gonna have to not show as many comments, sadly. Solve that midfield. The midfield for me is the biggest issue. There are various other issues I have highlighted. Our issues, and I'm going to talk through them all. CDM, which is obviously the biggest one because Rodri's injured and we don't have a player that can fill the Rodri hole, not to a good enough level anyway. You know, imagine our mid team is a donut with like jam in the middle, no hole. Rodri creates the hole, okay? And then all our other little issues are holes in other places that we don't want them. But anyway, I'm going to jump straight onto the red. As you can see, the ones that are highlighted are the ones I have issues with. If this is the last time before your holiday, have a safe trip and have a great time. I intend to do a stream on Wednesday, which is the night before I leave. I kind of leave on the night. It's weird, but I will stream on that day, and that will be the final stream. I'm gonna hopefully stream tomorrow as well. So you should have 3 lots of streams with me. But nonetheless, thank you very much for the safe wishes. So CDM. Obviously, this is a bad one because not only is Rodri gone, we don't have anyone that can fill it, and not to a good enough level. Now then, as you can see, I've written solutions. The solutions I've written are sign someone. I don't know who is my honest answer. You could go Zubamendi. You could go Riki. You could go with someone else entirely. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Zubamendi is clearly the name everyone wants the most. I've seen a lot of clips of him. I think he looks pretty good. And not only that, we can make him better. And any midfielder can grow under Pep. I really do mean that. Sign Regan Slater. I think I'll pass it. Again, Zubamendi was phenomenal last night, cutting out all Barcelona's attacks. Brilliant forward plays. He just sounds really good. I don't know if Zubamendi can can fill the hole. Okay, I don't know if he's a like-for-like replacement. He probably isn't, because Rodri's the best midfielder, and not just midfielder, player in the world. But what I will say is that, alright, do you know that scene in the Spider-Man movie where the boat's been like chopped in half, and he's like stringing it all together, and he's like holding it? I think that is kind of what Zubamendi would have to be, just not on as such an extreme level. And then when Iron Man comes through with his Iron Man suit, that's basically Rodri coming back from injury. That's kind of how I can imagine Zubamendi being. Anyway, then on to CM. The players. Grealish turns up to England fine, no limp, no sign of any injury. Very interesting, that. Very, very interesting. CM, the orange one specifically. This could go to either, to be honest. I just went for the right side. Now then, as you can see, I've put hindering Foden. And you might be wondering, what does that mean? So last season, Phil Foden was given the responsibility to play in that area by himself, with only one CM, and we would normally have someone alongside Rodri at the back end of last season. It became Kovacic's kind of job. This season, as of late, that has changed. We have shoved someone a bit more further forward. It's kind of been Gundogan and Bernardo, mainly, along with Gundo. If he signs in 1 year, we are having the same conversation again in 5 to 8 months. I know, that is the difficulty. I try at least get him for 2, because so that we don't have to worry about it for a while. Yeah, but Phil Foden is given that responsibility. But this season, that seems to have changed. We're now not just playing Phil Foden on the right sometimes. We're now playing Phil Foden alongside someone in midfield. Now, you might be wondering, what's so bad about that? Phil Foden's a good enough player to be able to do that. Yeah, I think Phil Foden can do a job with that. But look at Phil Foden in the Euros. Phil Foden in the Euros was shoved off onto the right/left wing a lot. Okay, but eventually Gareth Southgate thought to himself, maybe Phil Foden is better in that kind of area. As opposed to just giving it to Phil Foden, giving him the reins, okay, he made Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden, from what I watched anyway. Okay, you guys can correct me. I didn't watch as much of England as you guys. He made Phil Foden kind of take the reins. Yeah. He made Phil Foden kind of take the reins, and no, he made Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden share them. What happened to Phil Foden in the Euros? Okay, sure, when he went to Cam, he played a bit better, but the general consensus was that he didn't play very well. He didn't have a very good Euros, as England kind of didn't, to be honest, as well. They got to the final, but I don't think they were playing spectacular football. So that is my opinion on it, and what I think is most other opinions of people. Phil Foden didn't have good Euros, and for me, that is probably why. Yeah. He had 2 games in Cam, however, only 2. From what I saw, he did have 2 games at Cam, but from what I saw, he shared it with Jude Bellingham. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But from what I know, let's just say that this is the England 11 you can see on my screen there, okay? Let's say the orange one is Phil Foden and the one beside him is Jude Bellingham. That is kind of like what I could see from the Euros. You can correct me if I'm wrong at any time. So, for me, I think Phil Foden just needs to be given both reins, okay, and let him ride with it. Now then, the back 4. This has kind of been a tricky one because it's been hindered by injuries. Injuries have impacted this so much. I'm not sure on the exact number, but the amount of different back lines we've played this season is ridiculous. And it does come down to injuries. Ake got injured super early on in the season, got injured in an international break and didn't return until before the next one. So Ake's been very much out of it. Kyle Walker, he's kind of been shoved out the team. We're getting kind of used to at the beginning stages of Rico, Diaz, Akanji, Vardio seemed to kind of be the team we were going with. Also, I get rid of Ake, Stones, and some fantastic players for the club, but unfortunately, he can't stay 5 games fit. Yeah, Stones is an interesting one on that because, like you say, his fitness is not good. By the way, I just want to say Van Heck's been getting a lot of praise lately, and I fully back it. I think his ball playing against us was brilliant. Beyond the point, maybe that's sort of talk for the summer. But what I'm saying is that we've had so many back lines. Simpson Poussey, I like him. I think he's cool. And he's had such a difficult start coming into the team at this point, not just on a bad patch. I know. Walker actually couldn't stick with Mitoma. He couldn't, and Mitoma actually had him on toast. Akanji, Stones, Diaz, Vardio / Ake. And that would definitely be ideal if we can get them all fit and keep them fit. Simpson Poussey being good, disgraceful, Pep throwing him in. I don't see him in the team in the future. Yeah, I think it's such a shame for Simpson. Like, when you look at how different academy players got integrated into the team, it was nothing like how Simpson Poussey has. Phil Foden, to my memory, it was a while ago now, like 7 years ago. Phil Foden very much got like subbed on near the end, got a couple minutes. It kind of applied for Brahim Diaz as well. Kind of slowly put them into the team. Oscar Bob, he made his debut, to my knowledge, at the very end of the treble season in the final day off the bench against Brentford. A game we lost 2-1, but a game that didn't matter. Rico Lewis, he made his, to be fair, I'm pretty sure, no, he made his debut he had a start in the Champions League on a game that didn't matter. I'm pretty sure we'd already qualified in the group. Simpson Poussey made his first team debut against who was it? Was it Bournemouth? Was it Bournemouth he played first, or was it? No, it was Sporting. He made his first team debut against Sporting. No, he came off the bench against Spurs, didn't he? And he played well, and he got a lot of praise, and then he started next week. Okay, next week he gets started away from home in Portugal, and is expected to play in a back line that he's never played in before properly, against Portugal, against the most informed striker in the world. Next game, he gets stuck with as a centre-back pairing, he gets stuck with Vardio, who hasn't played centre-back for City in who knows how long. Walker started screaming at Simpson, knocking the confidence. Lovely. Did you see Walker's Walker after the game? You see, Walker tends to say stuff like that, like after every game, like saying how, he will come out and say something like that, like playing for the badge and something like that. But it just kind of gets old when nothing, like when Pep Guardiola did his speech after that one game versus Tottenham, and basically called out all the players for not being hungry. After that, there was change. Every time Walker's done like a battle cry, as you called it, a war cry, I don't see a difference. And striker, look, the reason why this is orange is because the moment Haaland gets injured, the moment he gets injured, we are cooked. We don't have a striker. We don't have a backup striker. All right. The moment January comes around, please bring in a striker. Go back to your summer list and look at Kyogo at Celtic. Go back to your summer list and look at that youngster at Copenhagen, I believe. Go back there and have a look at them just to see. Okay, even having someone like last season, do you remember when Haaland got knocked out injured for like 2 months? Imagine we lost that now. Back then we had Alvarez. By no means was Alvarez playing phenomenal. But at least we had someone. We don't. I can't lie. I despise when Pep moans about home fans, embarrasses us. At the end of the day, we literally have an average Big Six atmosphere, like every other Big Six atmosphere. We also spend money to watch, and Pep criticizes us. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't like that. Just felt a little bit of pain. Yeah, it is a very I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's the very people that are pumping money into a club that pays your wages. You know, it's very. I know what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like maybe call out someone else. But yeah, to finish off the back four as well. Sorry, before I look, it's been hindered by injuries, and the moment we get everyone back, hopefully we can actually sort out a defensive line to call our own. Okay, hopefully. What I will say is if you don't know, Kanji has pulled out the Switzerland squad due to some sort of injury. I'm not sure what it is. So don't take it super seriously. Maybe call out the board for becoming complacent in your interviews, because I guarantee he goes for the fans if we lose to Spurs at home. There you go. All right, now then, I have one more solution. Okay, one more solution, one more graphic to show for it. Dun dun dun! A complete system change. I think that this might be. I'm gonna do a quick comparison. Okay, a quick comparison. There you go. You're looking at it. I will go back to this one a couple of times, but this is the system I am proposing. By no means am I Pep Guardiola. Okay, I am by far not even a. My most experience as a coach is FIFA. So I'm not Pep Guardiola. I'm not even the worst manager you may have ever seen. Okay, but I'm simply going off systems that I know. My biggest issue with where is it? This is that we are so narrow playing through someone so close to our defense. Look, of course, the centre-backs complain to the CMs, and the centre-backs complain to the strikers. But mainly, City, we like to move it up slow, and we like to move it through our team. And the CMs can always drop down, I know. But the problem is, we must play deeper and counter-attack so quick. Did you see Liverpool counter-attacks? Absolutely mind-blowing. I know. Doing counter-attack football doesn't mean sitting at the back. It just means playing quick, catching teams out, make them pay for a mistake. You know, make them pay for a lapse in concentration, even if it's for a second. Always be switched on and always be ready to break. And I get what you're saying about the suicidal high line. Okay, that doesn't mean sit on the edge of your box. That just means chill it back a bit. I know we love a high line. I like a high line. But there's high and then there's ridiculous. When the other team out of position, take advantage of it. My biggest issue with this system, which is very much a system we've been playing recently, is our CDM. You cut off the passing lanes to the CDM, okay, and to our wingers. You're probably cutting off the passing lane to our midfielders. And then you have an absolute nightmare. Okay, but then the centre-backs are forced to pass it among themselves and pass it back to the keeper. Maybe the keeper can get a little attack going by playing it quickly and then going into space from a right back or something. That can happen, and it has happened. But we've been absolutely battered recently in this system because teams can read it. As right now, welcome to the chat, Frost here. At the end of the day, Pep's too stubborn to change his system. He wants to prove that it works. Whenever another team is out of position, we are so slow trying to take advantage of it. Partly comes down to the players we have, but yeah, I agree. Gundo's like super slow to on a counter. Okay, that's how he plays, and Pep probably tells him to play it that way. But look, I think this is better because once the player plays it into the CDM, okay, on this one, if they've got players ahead of them, they can't possibly knock it forward with confidence. But the CDMs here, they can play it amongst themselves, and also this solves the Phil Foden issue. You pass it to Foden, okay, who'd be our cam. Phil Foden then, he runs the reins. You've probably got left backs and right backs going forward. You've probably got your CDMs pushing a bit. Phil Foden then, he can play it to basically anyone around him. And he doesn't need to really worry about occupying someone else's space because it's all his. From what I saw, Oscar Bob is a goal threat. Thank goodness. Also play Savio and Bob from wingers in January. No delay in this room. Sussy. No delay in so I did delay the stream by 5 minutes. Sorry, I don't think I've quite caught what you said. But do you think he's a goal threat? I think, look, if there's anything, he can make things happen. I think he's that kind of player. Look, to be fair, we mainly have pre-season to judge. But to be fair, even looking at last season, that goal against Newcastle is no light work. He had a shot cleared off the line against Brentford. So unlucky. And it was a good shot too. He's a very talented player, Oscar Bob. I really like him. And look, I don't know what he's going to be like when he returns from his injury. A leg break is difficult. I just hope he can come back and be stronger than ever and use it to destroy. Oh, no chat delay. I apologize. Question, what do you think will happen if we go to Anfield and play the exact same game plan as recent games? I would prefer not to answer, to be honest. Let's just say, if we follow the same game plan as recent games, we will have similar outcomes. Man, this team not the same without Rodri. Absolutely. So I watched Liverpool the other night and I was so impressed. They're brilliant. They are so good. Every time, I don't watch every game for Liverpool, but I tend to watch their highlights. They never look bad. Even against Forest, they created tons of chances against Forest. Okay? They created a ton of chances. They just couldn't take them. And look, I'm begging that we catch on. I think Liverpool beat Madrid. Telling you now, that'll be a game, won't it? What annoys me is Rodri was gone. We're still trying to play like he's here. We must change that after the break. I know. Whatever we do, it has to change. Pep needs to figure it out in the international break. He's got probably a week and a half to figure it out because it's not like match day arrives and he's like, after nights upon nights of staying up, I figured it out. I know what to do. Okay, he's got to figure it out sooner than then so he can tell his players and get them training in a different way. Now then, do you know what's funny? Okay. As of late, this has been the system. Okay. It's very narrow for me. It doesn't leave us with too many passing options. But probably I'm gonna go through games real quick. In fact, you know what? You guys can go with them with me. So keep an eye on this formation and keep an eye on this formation. Because what if I told you? What if I told you, yeah, that we've played the system I suggested before, and recently too? What if I told you that? Would you believe me? Or would you say, no, Connect, you're a liar? So allow me to share. here we are. So, where to begin? Let's just go first day of the season. 2-1 versus Chelsea. Pivot of 2. To be fair, we played Rico here. I don't know why we don't even bother doing something like this. Why are we now, just simply isolating our DM? Why are we doing this? I know Rico kind of went into midfield a little bit this game, but predominantly we play like this. If you give me a minute to scroll to treble season, mate, is that how far up it goes? You're having a bubble. I'll find a way to get me up there quicker. If you give me a minute to get to treble season, I'll try and show you. Alright, let's go Real Madrid 4-0. The best game I've ever seen. No connector, you're a liar. OMG. Right there. Now let's share screen. Now, right, my system isn't exactly the same. My system does shove an extra player kind of down here. Okay, but look, let's just say that this is Kovacic, yeah? Having someone go into the midfield, and this game is John Stones. We haven't really been able to do that because of injuries so far for him. But having someone go into here enables us to play a similar way to what I was saying. Okay, it just takes away a defender. All right, these two can still play amongst each other. These two can still kind of go forward a bit. They can still knock it to their midfield friends, and then these guys then can push against this a lot. Now then, allow me to go back to... Oh man, we're so far up. Let's go to... where should we go to? Where was a really good performance that we were quite happy with? 5-1 versus Wolves. Kind of do my system this time around. Alright, look, I personally think that having the double pivot is working better for us. Having the double pivot. I think it just works. Simple as. If I find another game, I could probably find something similar. Let's go for United 3-1. Again, the double pivot is getting wins for me. It hurts to know our club peaked at 4-0 Madrid. It's the best I'll ever get, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah, I don't think we can top 4-0 Madrid. I think it was unbelievable. Literally, the TNT Sport highlight is called a complete footballing masterclass, and that's what it is. That's what it is. So now switches as Pep. Fraud. Pep better be watching. We know this system, okay? Look, this is only last season. This was a good performance, okay? I know we were losing in the first half, but we created a lot of chances. I remember Phil Foden ran in one-on-one. That looks so weird. 4-2-4. That looks wrong. It feels weird to not see a striker up there. Sorry about that. The double pivot gets results, and clearly, okay, look, if we had Rodri and this was working, not much of an issue. But we don't have Rodri and it's not working, and I don't know why we're persisting. I think, look, four losses in a row, okay, even if Pep seems quite chill about it, he needs to know that it's not right. It's not like us, okay? And even games that came before, Wolves, very lucky to win. Southampton, we got a goal at the beginning, couldn't do anything else. Fulham, you could argue we should have lost. Newcastle, we should have... you can argue we should have won and lost. Newcastle, second half, were really all over us. Brentford, If they'd done better in that first, if they'd taken chances in that first 30 minutes, the game could have been over. It's not working. Good question. Our second best performance ever? Like, what is? Because, of course, Madrid first is. Got to go, guys. Bye. See you, Frost. Big ups for tuning in, mate. Even if it was for a short time. Appreciate it. Let's go back to this. Good question. Good question. Second best performance ever. I think it could go down to a few. This isn't just the usual City winger form. It's worse than that. Serious problems. Liverpool 2-1. Yeah, that was good. That was peak football entertainment as well. For me, like that was essentially when that was kind of when the Premier League was decided. In hindsight of it, a complete just footballing, cinematic game to watch. Maybe that night was stunning. Although we win at Anfield in a few weeks, I think it could put our best performance up there. Yeah, we have to play brilliantly at Anfield. It's not impossible. Forest did it, but Liverpool averaged like one loss a season at Anfield, so I'm gonna have to say. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'm not Pep, okay? I don't know how to solve every issue, and even if I have proposed the solutions, I can't exactly enable them either. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk about this. We might talk about it later. You guys are great. More content being worked on, with Cape Verde just around the corner. Pre-recorded videos will be made and will be uploaded whilst I'm away. And you might get a stream or two out of it, but we'll see. Thank you for tuning in. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.